always keeps you in the game. The officials for the first game, Ian McClenny, David Posner, and Charles Rubia. Here we go. Tri-State taking on the defending champs, the Triplets in the dark blue.
Man, I like this matchup with Clark and Jamario Moon, both versatile players here. Shot miss right there, so that could be a key matchup within this game itself.
Here's Nero Pargo to Moon. He thought about the three with 3 on the shot clock. Fade shot rejected. Good defense by Tri-State.
Yeah, but that time, Jamario Moon couldn't get by Clark. And Clark has the length that time, contesting without fouling, able to get a block shot, hence shot clock violation.
How about this matchup? Joe Johnson and Jason Richardson.
Yeah. This one here, and both players so unselfish, explosive. See Jay Rich right there with a little hesitation. Missed the jump shot, but there's Clark.
Clark right there to follow. No. Jay Rich. Yes. But they say he pushed off.
He did. He got Jay Rich don't like it, but it was a little push in the back. And again, sometimes you don't need, it doesn't need to be an aggressive push, but if it takes that defender out of rebounding position, then the official is going to have to call it. And unless sometimes if his teammates get the ball and they can retain possession, then he's fine.
Here's Joe working on Jay Rich. Kick out the Moon, open 3. Good.
And that's the beauty of having my man Joe Johnson. He didn't score, but he attracted 2 defenders. Then he quickly made the right play, and Jamario Moon staying within his vision, able to get that open 3-point shot to go in.
Here's Nate Robinson driving on Pargo and draws the foul.
The game of basketball is simple. If you got a shot, you take it. If your teammate is open, you pass him the basketball. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. Then it's up to your boy to be able to sit there, square it up, and knock it in, and that's what Moon was able to do.
You know, one thing I think will be interesting, I know Tri-State talked about it at their practice last night. They said they looked at the game tape of when the Killer Threes knocked off the Triplets, and they said, Dr. J even said this, as a score, and there's a good follow as Earl Clark follows up Nate Robinson's miss. So it's 3-2, our score. Said Dr. J told him, as a scorer, I got involved when I was scoring. That's when I felt in my flow. Yep. And they felt like the same thing with Joe Johnson. They said the Killer Threes is, you know, they sent him a double team, and he was trying to find guys, and then all of a sudden, he didn't get in his rhythm because he kept having to pass the basketball out. Here's Joe Johnson with the follow, and missed the bunny. Pargo. Good.
Well, but you can see that Dr. J has employed that philosophy in this game, because when Joe gets on the wing and gets isolated, the double team is coming.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, Joe is making quick decisions with the ball, hence you're getting shots on the opposite side of the court.
Jay Rich. Fade. Off the turn, knocks it down. 5-4, 1-point lead for the Triplets. Again, the Triplets have already punched their ticket to the playoffs. Pargo, jumper, money.
Both teams looking a little fresh. I know it's early here in Vegas, and sometimes, you know, in the morning, having that early morning game, got to shake the rust off a little bit, but both teams look sharp early on.
Oh, Nate Robinson hustling. Oh, they're going to call offensive. They called that one offensive interference there on Earl Clark, the follow. Doc wants them to take another look.
Well, this is a great angle to see. Nate Robinson misses the easy bunny. The ball is...
Well, it's close.
That's close. I think, and the official who called it is on the opposite side. So if you take a look at it, the ball is still... That's outside the cylinder, but if you look at it from the top side, it seems like a little piece of the ball is right in front of the rim.
Earl Clark with the follow.
Let's take a look from this angle here. Now watch the ball come off, but it's off the rim. But to me, I think it's a good basket because it's off the rim and it's not outside of the cylinder. But again, that's why I'm sitting here and the officials are over there. So. They're
discussing it now. If if they allow the basket, it would be a 1-point lead for the Triplets.
Again, it's not over, it's off to me. If it's over in the middle, then it could be, and it's still on top of the rim, then it could be go to the, for me, I mean, offensive interference. I think the officials may reverse it again. That's just my 2 cents, B.
Yep. So David Posner, Charles Rubia, and Ian McClenny, all three discussing it right now. If this is Olympics, it'd be no discussion.
No basket on that. Reversing the call, no basket is going to be Tri-State ball on the side.
See? I told you I'm not the smartest. I'm a player. I want that basket to be good. But no, they reversed the call. So, by the way, because the official called it as basket interference.
Yeah.
So they didn't reverse the call. They just confirmed it.
So no basket, but Tri-State will have the rock and inbound. Which I don't get because if there's no basket, why they get the rock?
We'll get that from the officials on the dead ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's Jason Richardson. The shot's no good. Here's Pargo, the three. That's off to the right. Follows his own shot. And Mario Moon goes flying into the first row of seats.
Let's take a look. Replay.
That hustle.
Battling inside and both. But again, now, let's keep this. Let's put it in perspective. The Triplets are already in. Whether they win or lose. See, great block that time by Jamario Moore. But we talked to Joe before the game. And listen, they're not just coming in here and just like, okay, we're already in. And let's just make our way to the Bahamas and be happy with it. They want to carry momentum and they want to win the game again and be the best team in the league. And Joe is not going to let his team lose any kind of focus and concentration.
It's funny. Joe even took offense when me asking the question.
He looked at you like he was crazy.
Like he wanted to smack me, didn't he?
Like, what do you think we going to do, man?
Yeah. I said, look, you guys already punched the ticket. What's your focus for this game? He said, we need momentum for the playoffs.
Exactly. But that just comes from, and when your best player is focused like that, in particular in practice, okay, then he brings it in the game. Everybody else tends to fall in line from that. And then also, too, the young ladies on the sideline, I'm not going to let you lose any kind of concentration. See Earl Clark get inside. And that's why they're at the top of the charts.
Talking about Lisa Leslie, who's the reigning coach of the year. Here's Joe now. Stopped at the 4. He thought about taking that 4. Throws it away. Clark to Richardson. Turnaround jumper. Rolled out. Follows his own miss, though. Jason Richardson.
There's a reason why this Tri-State team is 5-2. Again, if they could pull out this victory, have the most wins in their time in the Big 3. Doc has kind of figured out the components of his team that make sense. They kind of mesh together.
Here's Nate. Down 2. Screen from Clark.
Nice switch that time by Joe to push Pargo out of the lane to get away from the mismatch. And Earl Clark, see that right there was just so smart, not great defense.
Clark dunks it home.
And, you know, Tri-State ends up getting the basket, but Joe Johnson making that switch, which Janero Pargo took up a post-up position inside, and then see a timeout by the Triplets.
We got a tie game. This is the regular season finale. Big 3 here on CBS.
Every time nacho fries came back, that warm nacho cheese sauce was drawing something closer to the surface. This is our world, and these are our Mexican spices. Order up! So either we fight together, or we fry alone.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. It's the Big 3 regular season finale. And it's time for the Microsoft Player of the Week. Reggie Evans He's the Week 7 winner. 45% of the votes he garnered. He had second straight double-double, 26 points, 10 boards. Did that all against the Ball Hogs. Congratulations, Reggie Evans.
Well, one of the hardest working, trash-talking, physical,
physical, absolutely.
big bully, in a good way.
Yep.
In the league. Oh, nice step back right there by Pargo.
That jumper's wet by Pargo. 2-point lead for the Triplets, and so far the defending champs looking to end the regular season in style.
Well, lots still to be played for, and ISO Joe still mad at you for asking him that question about this game. They're ready to win, but the Triplets gonna have something to say about that.
When Subway opened, they changed the fast food game. But sometimes you gotta refresh to be fresh. Welcome to the Eat Fresh Refresh, where there's so much new, some say you can't fit in one ad. I say, we're talking a new All-American Club, deli-style oven-roasted turkey, and...
Oh, that's a new steak and cheese.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. That's the one with the new seasoning.
And that was the new MVP Parmesan vinaigrette.
Right, which makes the next level foot. Hold up, the Subway logo? Wait, I'm out of time.
Space. We are Reserve Citizen Airmen, and we are there with over 180 different jobs to serve your country. Air Force Reserve.
We did it again. Verizon has been named America's most reliable network by RootMetrics, and our customers rated us #1 for network quality in America, according to J.D. Power. #1 in reliability 16 times in a row. Most awarded for network quality 27 times in a row. Proving once again that nobody builds networks like Verizon. That's why we're building 5G right. That's why there's only one best network.
Hey, tomorrow on a new Big Brother, a new twist has that house scrambling. Who will roll the dice and win big? Find out on a new Big Brother. It's tomorrow, 8/7 Central, or you can stream it anytime on CBS. We got a good one here. 12-10 our score. Triplets taking on Tri-State. And remember, folks, you can play the BIG3 Fantasy only on the Super Draft app, and you can win a trip to the BIG3 Finals, which is in the Bahamas. Use the code BIG3 for an instant $30 deposit match. 2-point lead for the defending champs, who've already punched their ticket to the Bahamas. Tri-State trying to get in with the win. And Justin Detman has checked in, and this is a guy who can score it from the outside, especially from 4.
And he had 2 last game, you know, and right there making an impact early defensively. Jay Rich
misses that 3.
They're not able to knock it in.
Here's Joe Johnson. Draws the double team. Moon for 3.
Actually, though, I like the defense that time by Jay Rich. And I'll talk about it after Pargo lines it up and misses it, and Moon inside gets fouled. But what Jay Rich did, instead of him jumping at Jamario, he played in between, knowing that Pargo on his right was a better shooter. So you'd rather have Jamario Moon take the shot than you commit to him. He makes one more pass, and Pargo's in the corner wide open.
Good point.
So, and those are the little things. You talk about adjustments. It's 3-on-3, blah, blah, blah. But it's the game within the game. Again, the double team of Joe Johnson. Now he's not able to get into rhythm. Now you're forcing the other players to have to knock in shots and beat you.
Here's Moon. He'll go to the line shooting 1 for 2. Knocks it down. Alan Anderson has checked in for the Triplets, who really led them in scoring last week.
Again, first time all season that another Triplet player outside of Joe Johnson see a beautiful pass, pick and roll inside to Sanders, but has led the Triplets in scoring. We know that Alan Anderson can spot it up and knock down some shots from the perimeter.
Here's Joe working on Jason Richardson. Anderson had 22 last week. Knocks that one down, so he's still cooking.
And if I'm Lisa Leslie, too, and I know that we're going to double team Joe, I'm going to try to do some movement, but get him the ball in the middle of the court. Great help.
Here comes Jay Rich, rocking the house.
But middle pick and roll. Sanders makes the right play, and Jay Rich may be a little long in the tooth a little bit right now, but still got bops.
He sure does. Some bounce in them legs.
Yep.
Here's Joe. ISO Joe. Turns. Ball fake. Anderson with 1 on the shot clock. Saved by Jamario Moon. Oh, touch pass. The Moon. But a foul.
You know, I'm a little jealous because, one, Jay Rich had always jumped higher than me in my career, and he's still doing things like this. Off the vert. Excellent pass from Sanders.
And throwing it down hard.
Fellow Big Ten alumni.
2-point lead for the Triplets. First team to 25. We go to the half. Step back 3. Good.
At some point, Joe's going to find his. The thing I like about Joe, though, is this. And I say this about all scores. You don't need to rush it. Why force it? You have a ball in your hands and be able to get any kind of shot you want. Be patient. That time, patience paid off with the switch with Dedmon inside to Alan Anderson to a taller and longer Larry Sanders,
who was really great for Tri-State last week. I mean, defensively and offensively, he did it all. Squawked their victory for them last week. Here's Joe Johnson again with 5 on that shot clock. Now with 3. Fades. It's short. Dedmon, now he will shoot that 4. Drive. Great D that time. Stolen by Jamario Moon.
They have a great one-on-one defense.
Alan Anderson for 3. He's wanted bad, doesn't he? And drives and lays it in.
You know, he identified the 4-point. Now, but what it did, it forced Allen to have to kind of run out, and that gave him the angle to get to the basket. He didn't make it, but his teammate was able to tip in the shot.
Anderson loses it. Richardson lays it in. And Tri-State now with the lead. First lead of the game for Tri-State. And first team to 25, we go to the half. Here's Alan Anderson. Leans in. And offensive foul.
So, the energy a little bit different in this lineup here. Dedmon right now, maybe not scoring the ball, but defensively, his activity is causing some havoc. Uh-oh.
And Lisa Leslie has pushed the button.
Why? He shot. What do you mean he wasn't shooting?
So the reason why they said they can't bring the fire is they called the foul on the ground.
On the ground.
It wasn't a shooting foul.
Got it. Got it. Here's Dedmon again. Oh, good dish to Sanders.
How do you make an impact on the game outside of scoring? Well, right here. Dedmon, we saw him take the charge. Once again, being a facilitator with the pill. And Larry Sanders smartly putting himself in position in that dunker spot to create space and then receive the pass once the opening is there.
Tri-State now 3 points away from the half. They've rolled up a couple of straight victories. Jason Richardson nearly comes up with the steal. Here's Moon. Joe fades. That one rolls off. Sanders the board. Here's Jason Richardson for three. Johnson to Allen Anderson. And did they clear it?
Nope.
Did they clear it? I think Allen Anderson was stayed in the lane.
Well, yeah, the whole Triplets bench jumped up. It was like, nah, they didn't clear it. I mean, but those little things like that, now you take away 2 points. Shot is up. The Allen Anderson stayed inside the lane.
Yep.
You got to get 2 outside of the lane.
Here's Detman for three. Got it! And one! So we're going to go to the half, but Detman's going to get the opportunity to add one more.
Well, we talked about it from the beginning. 3-way tie, 5-2. The Triplets are right there. They want to ensure that they have an opportunity to participate and not leave it in someone else's hands. And Detman right now, again, making that impact. 19 last week, still hot.
Justin Detman. Completes the 4-point play for Tri-State, and we go to the half, and Tri-State on a 10-0 run. And they're on top of the defending champion, trying to punch their way to the playoffs. It's the Big Three here on CBS.
And what's up, Doc? We ask fans from around the world to submit their best ideas for an original Space Jam and New Legacy arcade game. Now, me and Lola.
September 4th. It's presented by Verizon. Just head over to big3.com/tickets, and we'll see you in the postseason in the Bahamas. You know, we've got the head coach of the Triplets, Lisa Leslie, mic'd up for sound.
You got it. You got it.
Do that again, you coming out.
Sit down. But we're standing around like somebody else is going to get the rebound. You guys, we got to turn it up right now. Seriously. It starts right now, how we start.
Turn it up.
Come on, turn it up. Let's go. Defense. 1, 2, 3.
Defense. Turn it up. Turn it up.
So you heard Lisa Leslie, Brian Cuss alongside Jim Jackson talking about turn it up defensively. And you saw that in Tri-State. It seemed like when Larry Sanders and Justin Dittman came in, defensively, Tri-State was different, and it spurred their offense.
But their energy was a lot more efficient and higher than the Triplets. And that goes back to what Lisa Leslie was saying. It wasn't offense. It was get the rebound. Defensively, get better. So those second shot opportunities for the Triplets hits 26-19. You take a couple of those away, this is a different ball game. But also, let's see what adjustments Lisa Leslie makes with the double team. Early in that first half, defensively, the Triplets came and double team, but then late in that first half, kind of played more one-on-one. So the defensive adjustments by the Triplets, by Tri-State, let's see what happens there. And the offensive adjustments to counter that by the Triplets will be on display. So let's take a look at that.
They've held Joe Johnson in check. He's had just 6 points in that first half. And Jason Richardson, they call him for the reach, and he thought he had a steal.
If I'm the Triplets too, knowing that, the defensive philosophy is, I'm going to try to get myself as close to getting into the penalty early as I can. Use the free throw line as a weapon for Joe especially.
Here's Moon, an open three. It's way off.
And that's, again, the early double team that we saw force Jamario Moon to beat you. Now, does Lisa Leslie make an adjustment a little bit in play Allen Anderson a lot more? Now you're going to give up some height, especially if Earl Clark is in the game or Larry Sanders.
Nate for 4. Joe with the rebound. Fires that 3. That comes off.
Let it go.
Here's Jay Rich with the drive. High off the glass. It rolls off.
Good box out that time by Joe on Earl Clark. And now, Allen Anderson right there, able to knock it in the game. Again, Pargo not starting the second half. Allen Anderson in there.
Anderson's got 5. Lead is now 4 for Tri-State. First team to 50 wins. You got to win by 2. Earl Clark. Missed the bunny. Here's Joe. Looking for his offense now.
Got it.
Got it.
Even with the lost handle, Joe was able to recover, pull it back. Smooth, soft touch right there for a nice little shot. And Triplets coming out a little bit, cutting his lead down by 2.
This is the sound of change from PNC Bank. It's the sound of 1,000 sighs of relief and of a company watching out for you. This is the sound of low cash mode from PNC Bank, giving you multiple options and at least 24 hours to help you avoid an overdraft fee. Because we believe how you handle overdrafts should be in your control, not just your bank's. Low cash mode on virtual wallet from PNC Bank. One way, we're making a difference.
Welcome back. 2-point lead for Tri-State. Let's take a look at the Toyota RAV4 point leaderboard here. And this, the guys who knocked down the most 4-point shots.
Mike Vivier got the record at 17.
He had 6 of them. Pargo so far has knocked down 5 of them.
And I wonder, too, with the triplets, starting Allen Anderson in the second half, that more an effect of maybe giving up some speed in order to secure the defensive glass. And to take away maybe some of, which didn't work on that one, some of the switching mismatches. That time, Earl Clark was patient against Allen Anderson down low. So the triplets doing a good job of, one, identifying where the mismatches are going to take place after the pick and roll, and then exploiting it.
You made a great point talking about Tri-State coming together and looking more like a complete team. Yeah. Could we be looking at a possible contender?
Oh, yeah.
To win this whole thing?
Oh, bro, ain't no question. Because they have the right combination of size, skilled players, point guard, with Denton and also with Nate Robinson. Now, Nate is not scoring the ball, but he's facilitating.
Right.
So if we think about the triplets, what makes them tough? They're a complete basketball team. You can't say that Tri-State is not as complete as the triplets.
Here's Anderson for three. Missed it. Jay Rich snags the board. And once again, going to Clark, working on Allen Anderson.
But I like it, though. You know why? Because a lot of times when you have success, I'm not going to say it's easy, you tend to go away from it. But yet still, Jay Rich could have pulled up for a contested three. He was like, no, my man is down low inside. Let me get him the ball, hence you pick up a foul.
Clark from the outside. It's good for three. As you talk about Nate facilitating the offense.
Bro, just understanding your teammates, putting them in a situation to be successful. And again, that's impacting the game without necessarily putting the ball through the hoop with Nate Robinson.
And Clark now with a game-high 12. Here's Joe Johnson. That one comes off. Here's Nate. 8-point lead for Tri-State. Their biggest of the day. Nate with 5 on the shot clock. Drives on Anderson. Pulls up. Missed everything.
We got the ball. They go back. Nate Robinson right there, attracting 2 players. Demario got to understand, too, that if Allen Anderson has him under control, you don't really need to help. And that's that fine line of providing help, but then trusting your teammate that he's in position to play great defense.
Moon, another open 3. He's got to knock those down.
What's the reason why he's open? Now, Lisa Leslie, she's in a tough situation. See Earl Clark again attacking off the dribble. If you put Pargo in the game, now you're small. But I'd like to match up with Pargo in there when Nate Robinson is in there. Because he provides shooting, but he's, now he's able to guard Nate too. So and you can switch Joe on to Earl Clark.
See if she makes that move. Here's Nate. 8-point lead for Tri-State. With a win for Tri-State, they punch their ticket into the playoffs. Clark knocks it down. Earl Clark with 14 now. Doing work. Tri-State now with a double-digit lead. They're on an 8-0 run. And they lead this thing by 10. ISO Joe has to get in his bag.
Look at that.
Double team comes. And he knocks it down.
Stop playing, man. He's going to pass the ball out.
Jay Rich got tied up. And took a spill.
Watch this. One-on-one. I mean, this is outstanding defense by Earl Clark. And Joe recognizing the shot clock off 1 foot. Jay Rich gets tangled up inside.
With Jamario Moon. Yeah. Oh, Nate has it ripped. Anderson came off. Clark misses the triple. Anderson again for 3, and that's short.
Yeah, but Double A was leaning on that one. All his momentum was going forward, left the shot short. Jay Rich a little long on his attempt. Hey, look, this is how the game is supposed to be. Tri-State came in here like, listen, we can win this game. And right now they're holding serve. in regards to them playing well. That's great defense, one-on-one.
Great defense.
So
now, Jay Rich caught it, dunked it. We just had that instance before.
but what Lisa Leslie has said is the exact same thing, where the shot went up, it was an air ball, and before the defensive team got possession, the shot clock was also, it shouldn't count. It shouldn't count. It should be just like it was on the last play.
But they gave him the basketball.
Yeah, no. I agree with Lisa Leslie on that, because it's the exact same scenario. It's different if you shoot it and you got possession and the shot clock goes off, and then you lay it up, then you got it.
How about Dr. J? He wants to bring the fire. He wants to bring the fire. The Taco Bell Bring the Fire challenge on that foul. So it looks like Alan Anderson will have to go one-on-one against Nate Robinson.
Well, it looked like a foul to me. I don't understand that challenge. You could have kept that one in your pocket. Seriously. Because Nate intentionally tried to get Alan Anderson on that, being upset about the last play.
Allen's got 10 seconds.
Yeah, it didn't take 10. It only took about 4 to get that.
And Alan Anderson lays it in.
Okay, 1.
Let's see. Here, look at this.
3, 4. And he caught him with a little
bow, little chicken wing.
He caught him.
He caught it in the ribs.
Yeah.
Who's out? Who's out? I'm out. Come on, man, clean this up. Don't nobody get hurt out here.
You hear Nate. And Nate was complaining about that. He's hey, what about the foul there?
No, I mean, he got every right to complain. I mean, he did get hit with that bow. You know, Alan Anderson snuck it in right underneath, but the officials couldn't see it.
Here's Justin Detman and Larry Sanders, who really played well for Tri-State in that first half.
I see how long. Oh, great defense that time.
Stolen by Jay Rich. Detman with 5.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Step back. Wow. Side step 3. And the jumper's wet. Justin Detman. Watch this. A side step, step back 3. And it's nothing but the bottom of the net for Justin Detman.
But sometimes you can play great defense, but the offense, the better offense prevails, in Detman right there. Sidestep, excuse me, miss, one leg. You just pat him on the butt right there and say, bro, great shot. Tri-State rolling.
Subway has so much new, I couldn't fit it all in the last ad.
Yep. So let me finish this. There's new hickory smoked bacon, fresh mozzarella, smash.
Numbers there on Joe Johnson, 10 points, 8 rebounds, but Tri-State is holding the Triplets just 11 to 30 from the field. Here's Lisa Leslie, mic'd up.
We're going to win this game. You kind of in a funk, though, for me. Come on, I need you to keep fighting, all right? Stay with your guys. Stay with your guys. Stay with it, all right? We all right. I feel like y'all energy right now is a little bit like you not believing who we are, okay? We all right. We need some defensive stuff. We got to get after it.
You know, Dr. J said, I'm a scorer. So is Joe Johnson. And I need to get into a rhythm to be really effective. And we're going to double team Joe Johnson and make him give the ball up to other guys because we don't believe they can knock down shots and it's going to frustrate him.
Well, I mean, but you heard Lisa Leslie said in that timeout, you're in a funk, but I need you to stay with it, you know, offensively. But I see right there, Joe missed that shot, but in the middle of the court, you really can't double team as much because it's harder to get to your rotations, but Lisa still hasn't made the adjustment yet. I thought maybe Pargo would be in the game because he provides you a playmaker, but also a shooter on the court.
How about that foul? That foul on Justin Detman. So Detman now will shoot 1 for 4.
Justin Detman shooting 1 for 4. Throw them hands and get them ready. See if he can knock it in one dribble.
He was knocking them down in pregame.
He knocked that one down.
No, that one's all the way off to the side. Look at Lisa Leslie. She is fired up.
It looked like somebody took her toy on that one right there. She stomped out there like, no, hit the rim.
It did hit the rim.
Yeah.
It did hit the rim. So if you're the Triplets, you would have to bring that out and clear that.
Hold up. Let's see. Let's see it one more time from that angle. Let's see if it goes by it and hits it. I don't know. B.
That's close.
That is really, listen, I don't know if it hit the rim. Let's see from this angle. Did it hit at the bottom to make it jam to the left?
Yeah.
That's a tough call.
That's a very tough call.
And maybe if we had it from underneath, we can see it from the back end, but the way the shot changed, the ball changed direction. It looks like it hit the bottom, but it could be hitting the bottom of the backboard that pushed it to the left. See the rim move? Bro, that's a close call.
That's a close one.
Now, is it conclusive enough to overturn it is the question.
Right.
That's what it has to be.
Because they said no basket.
And it has to be conclusive evidence.
So, the ball hits the rim. We have a clearing violation on Triplets because he goes right back up with it. So Tri-State's going to get the ball on the side.
Yeah, there we go. They say it did hit the rim.
Thank you, CBS.
Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson said, thank you, CBS, for having cameras.
You can say it.
Thank you, CBS. I appreciate y'all.
Nate giving his appreciation.
Hey, I couldn't say it better than Nate.
There you
know
go.
What I mean?
No basket. Tri-State gets the rock. Moon had it taken away from him, but a foul.
Yeah, loose ball foul that time.
Triplets will inbound. Down 11. Inside, they go to Joe. Ball fake. And Joe will go to the line to shoot 1 for 2.
And I'm trying to see the foul situation for Tri-State. Triplets has 14 fouls. Okay, Tri-State has 4. And to me, Triplets get back in this game a couple ways. One, defensively get some stops. But again, pick up some fouls. Get to the penalty to get to the free throw line. But that right there has been the Achilles heel of the Triplets defense right here. That middle pick and roll either with Denton or Nate Robinson controlling the rock and then dropping off passes to Sanders and Earl Clark right there in the middle of the lane.
Here's comes the double team to Joe. And taken away by Jay Rich, and he lays it in. And Tri-State is now just 7 points away from victory and a position in the playoffs in the Bahamas.
Well, one, Jay Rich can body up and absorb the strength of Joe Johnson. And then Denton on the backside able to come in with the help to force the turnover.
Joe drives, rejected by Larry Sanders. And he just says, it is my house.
Well, but here's Sanders, though. He can leave Jamario Moon without hesitation because they're comfortable with having Moon if Joe drops it off to him to take that shot.
And that's the thing with Tri-State. It just seems that when they bring in Detman and Sanders, they don't lose anything. No. In fact, they gain. Moon.
Oh, great pass.
Inside to Joe. And he'll go to the line. So Joe Johnson will go to the line, shooting 1 for 2. Down 13. Joe's now got 14 on the day. This is Jay Rich. Hold up. They're in the bonus. 4th on Jason Richardson, so it was his 4th, so they keep the basketball. And Joe Johnson.
And that's why I said get into the bonus. Get to the free throw line, and then you return possession if you're able to knock down that free throw.
Quick 4 straight points.
Take it up.
By the triplets. It's stolen. Jay Rich missed it, but there's Sanders.
And Moon has, I know you got hit. It's got to be stronger with that and take advantage. Those little things have hurt the triplets. Either that quick little turnover, giving up an offensive rebound. Hence, Tri-State 5 points away
from victory. Joe loses it. Sanders punches it home. I tell you what, I'm telling you, Tri-State folks, they are coming. They are coming. Anderson to Moon. The 3's no good. Sanders.
That's physical. It is physical. And that time, that's just outstanding one-on-one defense by Jay Rich. And Jay Rich took the challenge this game, even though he knew he was going to get help. But he has to be the first in line on his initial defense to be able to stop and hold Joe Johnson. He's been able to do that for the better part of this game.
A 3 wins it. Detman, the kick out. Sanders, the jumper. It's good. Tri-State a point away from victory. Here's Joe. The double team to Moon. And he lays it in. So point game coming here for Tri-State. Detman drives. Game over. Tri-State, the victory. And they're headed to the playoffs in the Bahamas.
I'm going to tell you this. No fall off in substitution with Tri-State. They were able, Dr. J, when they substituted a big and small, meaning Nate Robinson, Earl Clark comes out, Denton, Sanders come in, even more energy. And that's what you talk about being a complete team. And they just out-energized, outworked the triplets this afternoon.
Tri-State has now won 3 straight games. They have the most wins in a season in team history at 6. And I tell you what, they're 2 people who come off the bench, whether it's Justin Denton or Larry Sanders. Those guys have been phenomenal for them.
Playing their role, accepting their role. And then when you do that as a team, you're successful. And think about guys that accept their role.
You're right, and they frustrated Joe Johnson and the Triplets today. John Sally is with their captain, Jason Richardson.
All right, Jay Rich, you went up against ISO Joe today. So 3 in a row. Who's number 1?
Hey, it doesn't matter. As long as we get to the playoffs and we're back for a playoff spot, that's all that matters with us right now.
It seemed like you guys really kept your head together for this game.
Yeah, we did. We knew the Triplets was a tough cover. We knew Joe was a tough cover. I just told my teammates, man, I might not be scoring today, but I'm going to do my best job of trying to defend him and making it tough for him. I think we did a great job, and the times he got by me, Larry came around, Earl came around, got help. Man, we just rolling right now. We playing great team basketball. Doc is out there coaching us well. Nate, Pride, and JD's coming in getting us offense, man. We just rolling right now.
Man, you mentioned everybody. I just hope they get this energy when we get to the Bahamas.
Yeah, we're going to keep that same energy again there. We're going for the chip.
All right, thanks, Jay Rich.
They are certainly coming as we take a look at the up-to-date standings. The Triplets, Tri-State, they're in. Now, let's see what Trilogy and the Three-Headed Monsters can do, because a win, they head in. We got more coming up. Stay tuned for our next game. Killer Threes, Trilogy will return to Vegas right after these messages. It's the Big 3 regular season finale here on CBS.